This meeting is being recorded. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. Anybody else recording? Okay, so the members here tonight, Mark Maloney, Jim Wynn is somewhere, Peter Wozniak, Debbie Jelks, David Singer. Is Julia with us?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right. So first off is the application of Thomas Powers for property located at 80 Munson Street, Assessor's Tax Map 39, Lot 2, which is located in the suburban RB zoning district for a special permit pursuant to sections 200-6.2E and 200-8.3 of the zoning ordinance in order to allow the installation of a 6-foot high wooden stockade fence within the front yard setback area along Champney Road at this location. So Mr. Powers is here. I believe I saw his thing somewhere.
Yep.
Yep, right. Okay. Just trying to get this stupid clock thing out of the middle of my screen. All right. So Mr. Powers, if you want to listen, I'll explain how we're going to do this. And I saw Evan Bull too, so hopefully he can still hear me. And we only need to say this once. So in a moment, the members of the board will be introduced. Yeah, and then you'll introduce yourself. You'll tell us what you want to do, where you want to do it, and why you want to do it. From time to time, the members of the board may chime in with questions for you. At a certain point in the proceedings, we will open up to public comment. At the end of public comment will be closed. The board will ask any further questions it has for you, and then we will move on to the next permit. The board expects to make the determination tonight. So you are welcome to stick around, or you can go and contact Eric. Anyways, from the time once we've made our decision, the decision will be typed up and filed with the city clerk. From the time it's filed with the city clerk, there's a 20-day appeal period in which anybody who feels aggrieved by the actions of the board may appeal in land court or superior court. If at the end of the 20-day appeal period, all appeals have been settled or there are none, then you may go ahead and do what we say you can do. Do you understand all that? Where is he? No, that's the wrong one. Hold on. I'm trying to get the Thomas Powers. There we go. Okay, so you're all set. You understand that, okay?
Yep.
Oh, I think let's go ahead then. So the members of the board sitting are Mark Maloney, Jim Wynn, Peter Wozniak, David Singer, and Debbie Jelks.
And Julia Popkin.
Yeah, and Julia Popkin. And you are. Go ahead, Mr. Powers. Take it over.
I'm Thomas Powers at 80 Munson Street in Greenfield.
Yep. Go ahead. Tell us all about it.
I want to put up 6-foot fence in front of my house that's set back 52 feet from Munson Street. They already approved the stockade fence coming down Champney, and I just want to run it out from the side of my house. So that's
when you say they've already approved, who's they?
the planning board last week.
Planning board has no approval in this.
Of the fence on Champney?
Yeah. Fence on Champney. Now, let me ask you a question here. It wasn't quite clear from your submittal. The fence along Champney is going to, where's the edge of that going to be?
Property line.
So right along the road?
Property line. 3 feet. It's about, I don't know, it's whatever it is. 3-4 feet.
Uh-huh. And in your submittal, not sure, 20 foot. What we have, it's calling for 100 and how long? 140. What's the total length of the fence you're looking for?
On Champney?
All of it.
300 feet. back side,
All right, where am I saying a different measurement? All right, you understand that because you have a corner lot, both your front yard and your side yard are considered front yards.
correct.
Thank you. Yes, I know that.
And if
You understand that. Okay, here we go. All right, my house is back 50 feet. No, that doesn't say it either. Anybody see where there's a measurement?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yeah, please do.
Powers, hi, how are you? I'm David Singer, member of the zoning board.
hi, David.
Do you have in front of you the sketch a copy of the sketch that you provided to the ZBA?
No, I don't. I sent all the information to them.
Is it this one?
Okay,
Hold on a second. All right.
Is that the one you gave to them?
Yeah, what do you want? Which dimensions do you want? I got them.
okay, so it looks to me like you border on Chapney Road and Munson Street. On Chapney Road, you're indicating that you want to put a fence 106 feet, 6 feet high, starting from the corner of your property with your neighbor up on west on Chapney Street, down Chapney Street 106 feet. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you're going to take a right angle and you're going to go south and you're going to go another 20 feet towards your house.
Yes.
Correct? And that's the Munson Street fence.
Right.
And then on the other side of your property, you have a 6-foot high fence that you're going to do 143 feet along what I would call the westerly side of your property, which is the rear of your property.
Yes.
Then you're going to put 85 feet of fence along your neighbor on the south.
Yes.
And then you're going to right angle more or less, not really a right angle, but you're going to perpendicular back towards your garage another 24 feet, and that's on the Munson Street side.
Yes.
And so that's the total fence, correct?
Correct.
So you're not putting any fence any further towards Munson Street than the 24 feet on the south side and the 20 feet on the north side, correct?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Does that help you,
Indeed.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, and well, yeah, I'm still missing that number, but it doesn't matter.
It's 106
two.
feet.
Oh, so
just-
just two. Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm
Total-
sorry.
The total amount of fence is 293 feet.
Okay,
If
so
you add all those numbers up.
Right, but the ones
Okay.
in play are Munson Street and Chapney Street. Those are the ones that need the special permit.
right.
According to the meeting last
So-
week, they okayed the Champion Street one.
They did, but they're an
No.
advisory. They make an advisory opinion, and then we are the ones who make the final decision. Sorry, Mr. Chair. I will concede.
That's okay. Hold on. Why is this not showing this? Well, I don't know. All right. How far from the 20-foot section that's tying the front of the house into the side, the Champney Street side, how far from that to Munson Street? Do you have a
52 feet.
measurement?
52 feet.
52, did you say?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Unless you're talking, which nobody should be except for me right now and the applicant. Please mute yourself. Okay. So Champney and that. All right. Line of sight issues. I think people have been there because it's sitting far back from the corner. I don't have a particular issue with that. I think I have the information I need. So we'll go down the board now for questions for Mr. Powers. And then we'll read some correspondence. Okay, so Jim Nguyen, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions at this point. I was up there at 7:30 this morning taking a look at it.
Okay, it's scaring people. No.
That must have
Okay.
been you in the brown car.
Okay. Peter Wozniak, questions for Mr. Powers?
I do not have any questions.
Okay. David Singer, do you have any questions?
Mr. Powers has answered my questions. Thank you.
Okay. Debbie Jokes?
No questions.
Okay. Julia Popkin?
No questions.
Okay. So let's read the correspondence. Jim Wynn, can you do that, please?
I can do that. From the planning department, no comments or issues with the proposed project. From the fire department, no comments or issues with the proposed project. From the engineering office, no comments or issues with the proposed project. And from the Board of Health, no comments or issues with the proposed project. And we have one letter from a neighbor.
Okay,
Can I read
go
that?
ahead. Yeah, read that because I don't have it.
This is from Dennis. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Fennell. Good morning, Eric Torward. I received notification about the hearing recently in the mail. Since I won't be able to attend, I want to let you know one key potential safety problem with this proposal. I live at 20 Fairview Terrace. Making a turn from Champney Road onto Munson is tricky because of limited visibility at the 80 Munson Street, especially making a right turn, which is, by the way, is greater than 90 degrees. There's already some kind of shield on the utility pole at the corner to prevent further damage. Cars have scraped the pole, making a right turn a few times. Also, Munson Street traffic to south, if it's visible, past about 200 feet, because Munson curves at that point. If a fence is permitted, I would encourage steps to ensure as a clear visibility as possible. I would appreciate your confirmation that you received this email. Sincerely, Dennis Fennell. But I don't have his address. That's it.
Okay, that's fine. All right. We went through the board. Okay, why don't we? That was it for all the correspondence, right, Jim?
Yes, sir.
All right. So why don't we go ahead? It is 7:12 p.m. We'll open it up to public comment now. This is public comment specific to the application of Thomas Powers for property located at 80 Munson Street, which is located in RB zoning district for a special permit pursuant to sections 200-6.2E and 200-8.3 in order to allow the installation of a 6-foot high wooden stockade fence within the front yard setback area along Champney Road at this location. So, public comment. Anybody? You're going to have to identify yourself and where you live, please. Is there any?
Yes.
My name is Karen Regan. I live at 64 Munson Street. I'm here for support.
Okay. Oh, there you are. You know, the joys of WebEx meetings. The pictures disappear on their own. Okay, so your comment is you support this application.
Correct, yes.
Okay, great. All right. Anything else?
No.
You're good. All right. Thank you. Anybody else for public comment on the application of Thomas Powers for 80 Munson Street? Seeing none. Hearing none. Seeing no waving hands. Seeing no electronic hands. Okay, public comment is closed at 7:13 p.m. Real quick, who just spoke? Whoever it is, mute. Any other questions from the board members? I'll just go down the list. I don't have any other questions. Jim Wynn, any other questions?
No, sir.
Peter Wozniak, any other questions? I probably made him mute. I'm going to assume no, he didn't have a.
I have no additional comment.
All right, thank you. David Singer, anything else?
Thank you.
Okay, Debbie Jilks.
I'm all set. Thank you.
All right, and Julia Popkin.
No questions.
Okay. All right, Mr. Powers, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I'm good.
Okay, then we'll close the hearing on the application of Thomas Powers for 80 Munson Street because we have a hearing in 1 minute. Actually, we have a hearing now, but be that as it may. Mr. Powers, we will deal with this tonight. So, but we need to get through our next scheduled application. Then we'll take yours first as we do our discussion and decision. Okay. All right. All right. Now it's 7:15 p.m. we're going to take up the application of Eben Bull for property located at 58 Deerfield Street, Assessor's Tax Map 28, Lot 13, which is located in the General Commercial GC zoning district, for a special permit pursuant to sections 200-4.9C6 and 200-8.3 of the zoning ordinance in order to allow the continued use of the property as a single-family home at this location. Is Mr. Bull with us?
Yep, I'm here. Good evening.
Okay,
everyone.
I can at least hear you. I can't see you, but that's all right.
Should be.
Well, there you are. All right, that's great. Hey, okay, so did you hear my explanation before of how we do this?
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that once the decision is filed with the city clerk, there's a 20-day period.
Yep.
I'm not anticipating, but I don't try to guess what anybody will do in Greenfield anymore. Okay, so the members of the board sitting are, let's see, Mark Maloney, Jim Wynn, Peter Wozniak, David Singer, Debbie Jilks, and Julia Popkin. And you are? Mr. Bull, you have to introduce yourself.
My name is Eben Bull.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
no
so go ahead and tell us all about it.
Well, this building was a former church, and it was converted into a single-family residence in 2008 when it was purchased from the Catholic Church. There was a special permit filed at that time for single-family residential use, and there were a number of things that were required at the time. There was a large parking lot in the back, and a lot of that had to be removed. There were various other sort of safety things, and that permit was issued, and it's been a single family home now for 14 years. I'm in contract to buy the building, and there was a condition on the original special permit that it applied to that applicant only. And so I am applying to continue the use of the building as a single family residence. I don't have any plans to do any changes at this time. There's some maintenance and whatnot, but other than that, I'm basically I'd like to maintain the status quo of the building, and I'd like to be the next steward of this unique building, piece of history at Greenfield.
Okay. Yeah, the condition is actually a fairly normal one for us, which is usually special permits run with the applicant. And as this is in the general commercial district and it's a single family use, that makes sense. So all you want to do is keep using it for what it is.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. If you decided you wanted to turn it into a store or any other use allowed by right in the general commercial district, you wouldn't need a special permit from us. So
right, I understand.
So I think from my perspective, my opinion, this is fine. I think probably the only condition would be, again, to have the permit run with the current applicant. The other things that were in the previous permit, which I was there for, are not really germane to this one. So I don't have any questions for Mr. Bull, except should ask this. You're not planning on installing any exterior lighting beyond what's already there?
Nope.
Okay. That's all I got. So Jim Wynn?
Mark, you got some correspondence I'd like to read?
Well, do you have any questions first?
No, I don't at this time. I walked the property this morning.
Okay, let us go down the board, and then we'll go deal with the correspondence. Okay. Peter Wozniak, any questions for Mr. Bull?
I have no questions. I was a former parishioner in that church. So.
Right. I was going to say,
Okay.
I've been in there. Yeah, I've been to church there. So, all right, all good. Okay, David Singer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Are you looking to have this special permit run with the land, or are you okay having it run with you as the owner?
If ideally it would run with the land, and the reason for that would be that a lot of the banks that I've been speaking with, that because this building has a deed restriction on it from the Catholic Church and the special permit condition, there's been a lot of sort of confusion over like, what is it going to be? And if the permit ran with the land, it would make it a lot easier for the financing to they basically like want to know that if they lend on this as a residence, and they had to sell the property or whatever in the case of a default, that they could sell it as a residential property. So yeah, it's sort of, it's the building is unique, the use is unique, and it's sort of like stuck between that sort of general commercial zoning and the current residential use, if that makes sense.
It does. What you're saying is that the bank's concerned that if they foreclose on the property and put it out for sale, that the permit wouldn't run with the foreclosure sale, and therefore, why would they take that for collateral if they have that risk?
Right, because they have to kind of stay either in the residential space or the commercial space.
Yep. Yeah, it would have commercial as right, but it wouldn't have the residential as right. They
Right.
might be concerned about it. Okay, well, that
Right.
you've answered my question. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thanks.
Debbie Jokes,
I have no questions at this time.
Julia Popkin.
No questions.
Okay. Jim Wayne, you want to read the correspondence?
Yes, I do. From the planning department, no issues with proposed project. From the health department, no issues with the proposed project. From the engineering department, no issues with the proposed project. And I had to call the fire inspector this morning. He didn't check anything off on his letter he sent, but he says he has no issues with proposed project. That's it.
I think I saw a thing from him about all single family homes need a fire detector inspection when they change hands.
They do.
Yeah. All right. So that was the only thing. And that's it for the correspondence, Jim?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well,
Mr. Bull.
That's all that I have.
Sorry?
That's all that I have.
Yeah. Well, that's all that I got too. So we're fine. All right. So it's 7:23. Let's open it up to public comment. The dog just made a comment. On the application of Aben Bull for,
Explain why I'm selling.
where is it? 58 Deerfield Street, to continue being used as a single family residence. So anybody want to make a public comment on this? You have to tell us who you are and where you live. Anyone? It's
I
going to be
believe, I believe Apple Berkeley was looking to say something.
well, then
Let
She was trying. She just wasn't sure when to jump in. That's all.
now's the time.
Okay, I'm the current owner of the property. My husband is sick and dying at this point. He owns a property in Deerfield. And I've been stuck kind of taking care of him 24/7. He's bedridden and wheelchair bound.
sorry about that.
So it's the only reason that I'm selling the building is just because once he's gone, I have nobody to take care of me, and I've got systemic lupus and very bad arthritis. And it's going to be difficult for me to maintain the property in the current state that I am, and I have nobody here to take care of me. So I need to kind of relocate where I have relatives to help with that.
So you're in favor of this?
Absolutely, yes.
Right. Okay, thank you. Anybody else? So Apple, you're actually still living there, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's your residence. All right, anyone else for public comment on 58 Deerfield Street? No? Okay, all right, then we're going to close the public comment at 7:25 p.m. And Mr. Bull will come back to this shortly, all right?
Okay,
So
thank you.
we take these in the order that they come, all right? So let's return to Mr. Powers' application for 80 Munson Street. if everybody has their stuff, I will start. A lot of fence, but I don't think the way it's presented in the sketch here, I don't think it's going to interfere with the line of sight. And it's very far back. Well, you know, it's pretty far back from Munson Street itself. So because it's a corner lot, that's why there are more issues with it. But I think the design is okay. That's all I have on it. So Jim Wynn.
I'm all in favor of this. As I walked in front of it and up the street this morning, I can see why they want to fence it off to protect the grandchildren. And I don't believe it's going to have a negative impact on the neighborhood.
Okay. Peter Wozniak.
I have no additional questions or comments, and again, I'm in favor of the proposed project.
Okay. David Singer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I don't think it's detrimental to the neighborhood, and I don't think it jeopardizes vehicles or pedestrian traffic, so long as the fence is put in according to the sketch.
Right. Okay.
That'll be a condition for me.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Debbie Jokes.
I agree with David in regards to, you know, having the fence be as shown, but other than that, I don't see any issues with it.
Okay. Excuse me. Julia Popkin.
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. All right. Then I think the only question I had for the board to consider is usually we have a 30-inch setback on a side yard. The zoning calls for a 6 foot and higher fence to be set back a minimum of 6 feet, which would be quite a distance. Again, given the location, I think, you know, I think that's probably asking a bit much. The only thing I'm concerned about is that on the southern side of Champney Road, anybody walking along the road there, because there's no sidewalk, be able to get off the asphalt if there was an erratic driver coming at them. So that was my thought. Now, according to Mr. Powers, and there's no, it can't tell from the assessor's map. Not sure where the right of way, the town right of way is on the property, if it's that 30 inches off the asphalt or not. That I think is something for the board to think about as we make the motion. But other than that, I think it's all fine. So, David, you want to try the motion?
Sure. I just wanted to add to what you had to say. I was thinking the same thing. I know Mr. Powers is still listening. Mr. Powers, even though there's a grass line there on Chapney Road, the town may own some of that grass as the right-of-way for that road, and I think it's incumbent upon you, and that'll be a condition that I would like to request, that you make sure that you put the fence on your property. So you might have to move it back just so that you're off of the city right-of-way. If you understand what I'm saying. In other words, it looks like you might own up to the street, but you may not.
No, well, David, those trees that you see, the stumps,
Yeah.
that's town property. Those are town trees that were removed. So that's town right there.
Okay. So I would just say that just be careful. You know, in other words, we won't impose any other limits to where you can put the fence within your property, but just be sure that when you put it in, it's actually on your property and not the city right-of-way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I move the application of time.
Yes.
I move that
we approve the application.
we approve the app. Thank you. That we. It's been a I missed the meeting. You know what happens, right?
Yeah.
I move that we approve the application of Thomas Powers for property located at 80 Munson Street, Assessor's Tax Map 39 Lot 2, which is located in the suburban residential RB zoning district, for a special permit pursuant to sections 200-62E and 200-8.3 of the zoning ordinance, and in order to allow the installation of a 6-foot-high wooden stockade fence within the front yard setback area along Chapney Road at this location, with the following conditions.
Yep.
First condition be that the fence is put on the property according to the plan submitted by the final plan submitted by Mr. Powers and what he's stating in the application. And secondly, that the fence be along Mr. Powers' property line and not be located within the city right-of-way known as Chapney Road.
And thirdly, that the fence be maintained in good condition.
On the Chapney Road side, but yes.
Well,
I mean, I guess we could say the whole fence.
yeah, let's just say the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay, you good with that, David?
I am. We need a second.
I'll second it.
All right, Jim, was that you?
Yes, I'll second it.
So motion made and seconded by Wynn. Is there further discussion? Seeing nothing. Peter, any further discussion? Okay, then I have to do a roll call vote. So Maloney votes yes. Wynn?
Yes.
Wozniak?
Wozniak, yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. David Singer?
Yes.
Debbie Jelks?
Yes.
And Julia Hopkins?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Motion has been made, seconded, and is declared unanimous. Okay, Mr. Powers, call Eric on Monday, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Mr. Bull. Let us take up the matter of Evan Bull for property located at 58 Deerfield Street. Again, I do not have any particular issue with this. I think we do need to add a condition that the permit run with something, and that all what were we referring to?
I know what I think you're trying to deal with the issue of whether it runs with the applicant or runs with the land.
Well, no, I'm trying to deal with another issue which Mr. Bull brought up, which is the church had
It has its own restrictions.
yes, that's it.
Yeah, but those are not within our. I don't think that's within our jurisdiction, is it?
Well,
Sorry.
I don't know, but I just say that any previous restrictions continue in force. But I think I don't have an objection if it runs with the land. I can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't either. I actually think it's. I'm sorry. It's. I'll get my turn.
So anyways, that's, obviously it's been used as residence for a while now. But it is in general commercial. And as everyone knows, we do not have enough commercial space. So we are protecting the zone also by making this a special permit. So that's all I got. Jim Wynn,
I don't have a problem with this.
Peter Wozniak.
No additional comments.
Okay. David Singer.
Yeah, it's interesting. If this had been a special permit request as an initial request, I don't know what I would do if the idea is that we're trying to protect the land along Deerfield Street for commercial use. However, since it's already been approved, I think that not only am I going to approve this application, but I would like it to run with the land. I think that at this point, if we're granting that privilege, then anybody owning the property needs the benefit for borrowing and such, and value. He's making an investment. He needs to know that he's making an investment as a single family, he needs to know that he can sell it as a single family. So I think that's only fair. Once that permit was granted, I think that type of permit should run with the land, in my opinion. So
Mhm.
that's what I would add as a not as a condition, but as a change to the current permit.
Well, the current permit really, most of it is dealing with stuff that's already been dealt with. So it's not, I don't think when we formulate this motion, it really needs to refer to the current permit.
Right, but he's asking for a continuation of the current permit. He's not asking for a new permit. So we really are continuing it and then modifying it. So if you think the modification, I mean, I asked Eric. Eric said that all the conditions have been met.
Right.
Is that true? Both applicant and seller and owners, have those conditions been met? Do we want to keep those conditions in place so that the property doesn't deteriorate back to that condition? I don't know, but I would think.
Yeah, you know what? Let's simplify. We'll just continue the permit.
Continue the permit with the one amendment that it runs with the land instead of the owner. That's what I would recommend.
All right. All right. So that's David's recommendation. Debbie Jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Sorry. David, are you done?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I am.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Deb.
All right, no problem. Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think it should run at this point. I think it should run with the land. I'm not sure if we're going to touch on the deed issue. To me, the deed is between the person purchasing it and the restrictions on the deed itself. I don't think that that's something we need to address in the permit. So I would support keeping the permit in place and having it run with the land.
Okay. Julia Popkin.
I have no additional comments.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. David, you made a statement that this is an amendment, or is it a condition?
Well, I guess it's a condition. I usually think of conditions as restraining, but we're actually making it better. So we could use the word condition.
Well, I'm just curious, if we amend it, does that have any significance versus a condition?
No, that's a good, I think that's a fair statement. I would, let's use the word condition so that we're adding a condition to an existing special permit, which is what's before us. Thank you.
And Peter, I'm sorry, I missed you. Go ahead.
I missed them too.
Yeah. Peter?
That was the question I had for David. I'm all set.
Well, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I was just.
All right, that's fine. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's have a motion, somebody.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the I'm going to read it a little different than what's in the agenda. I make a motion to approve the application of is it Eben or Evan? Eben Buell. Eben Bull for property located at 58 Deerfield Street, Assessor's Tax Map 28 Lot 13, which is located in the General Commercial Zone General Commercial GC zoning district. And I'm going to say to continue the special permit pursuant to sections 200-4.9C6 and 200-8.3 of the zoning ordinance in order to allow the continued use of the property as a single family house at this location, subject to the condition that the property, that the special permit to use the property as a single family home at this location shall run with the land instead of with the applicant.
Oh, yeah, little excess verbiage there. So the condition is to the permit runs with the land, right?
Yeah, but I want to make sure that it's clear that the single family use is what's running through the land with the land, but that's fine.
Yeah, but that's what the motion already says. So, yeah. All right. Yep.
I'll second that.
Peter seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none, seeing no red flags or yellow flags or any flag. Okay. Okay, then we'll call for a vote. Let's see. Jim Nguyen.
In favor?
So that's a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Peter Wozniak.
Yes.
David Singer.
Yes.
Debbie Jelks.
Yes.
And Julia Popkin.
Yes.
And Maloney abstains. Okay, so that's motion carries and is declared unanimous. Okay, so Mr. Bull, you heard all the stuff before, and you know you can call. Don't call tomorrow. Give Eric till Monday, and then you can call him, and he'll give you any further details you need. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of May 12th, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
Second, is there any discussion, corrections, or amendments? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. Maloney votes yes. Wynn,
Yes.
Wozniak,
Yes.
Singer,
Yes.
Jokes,
Yes.
and Julia Puck. And is that the one Julia wasn't here?
She was not. Neither was Peter.
Right. You're right. So we're all good then. All right. So the minutes are approved. Okay. I think that's about it. We don't have any other special correspondence. I'll be in touch with everybody about July. Barring any emergencies, this should be our last meeting in June, hopefully. So everybody enjoy the rest of their month and stick close to your email, and we'll be in touch.
Mark,
Um,
also,
yep.
our next, because of Governor Baker's whatever memo or edict, it expires in July. We're all going to have to meet in person the next time.
Yep.
Okay, just so
Thank God.
Thank God.
Well, yeah, we will meet in person until the monkeypox gets out of control.
I'm eating in my underwear, but I
Yeah.
guess I won't do that for the.
There you go. All
Thank
right.
you. Appreciate it, David. Thank you.
It's okay.
Hearing that.
Yeah, really. Yeah, there's the downside. Okay. Other than that, we're good for tonight. So thank you, everybody, and I'll take a motion
night.
to adjourn.
So moved.
And then I'll second that. And without objection, we're going to adjourn. Okay.
Take care,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Everybody
Stay
stay
healthy.
safe out there.
We will.
Take
Have a good
care.
night, everybody.
Good night.
All righty. Night.
Take care, Mark. Hard to believe that church in Coles for 14 years.